What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 137. My name is Harrison.
37.
I am joined by my brother Nick. As always, my real life brother. In case you guys didn't know,
Wow.
it's not just a name. We are actually legitimate brothers.
IRL.
So we are. Yeah, we're vibing, man.
Hey, we'll show you the birth certificates. We're legitimate.
Yeah, if you don't believe us, well, bet on it.
Just DM us.
Yeah. Just be DMs. Let us know. Like, I don't believe you guys are real brothers.
This can't be real.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. Gamescom happened, so there was a bunch of stuff shown off. Not necessarily a lot of new stuff, I don't think, Nick, but still some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, not a ton of new stuff.
But we'll talk about that here shortly. But before we do so, Nick, how was your week?
My week has been pretty chill. My wife was gone for the weekend. She went up to Chicago to visit a friend, so I was home alone, or here alone, and I did a lot of gaming this weekend. Finished up Xenoblade. Teared up a little. Played some Splatoon.
Hell yeah!
Played the Splatfest.
We did, yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, played some together, and then had some frozen pizza. Just
Nice.
living the life. I guess.
I saw our TikTok where the Splatoon date night, little wine, keep it classy.
I lit a candle, got the wine out. It's lovely.
Sounds like the perfect weekend.
It was nice. I went to Biscuitville Saturday morning.
Nice.
And I waited, and it was very good. But I waited in line for 45 minutes in the drive-thru.
That's insane. Like,
I don't know why it's so bad in my city, but it is like tremendously awful on Saturdays.
Well, I guess a lot of people don't work on Saturdays, so maybe. But
I mean,
still,
that's probably
who wants to wait 45 minutes for?
I did.
Biscuitville's already it's always fire, so like it's worth the wait. But like for people that have to work, like that sucks. Like if they want to quit, I guess you just don't go there on Saturdays just because it's kind of crazy.
Like I got to the point where I was 20 minutes in, and I was like, okay, I've already committed too much of my time. I can't bail out now.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it was going to take another 25 minutes. So
that's crazy. Was it just like a huge line around the place?
Yeah, like it wrapped around twice. It was.
Yeah, see, like Biscuitville,
and they were just slow too.
Biscuitville and like Chick-fil-A, it's always good, but I mean Chick-fil-A is like pretty good about getting you out quickly, but even then, sometimes it just takes a long time, just as there's so many people there.
They normally fire us through in Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Like
they get us times. They like redid our local Chick-fil-A where like they still have a drive-through and stuff, but they don't have like a window anymore. They just have like doors that open and they just come out and whatever. Like so they fly you through there, but sometimes it can take a while. Just kind of depends on time of day and stuff like that. But cool, yeah. Biscuitville, man, it's classic.
Yeah, complete classic. Also went to Chick-fil-A. They were out of Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh,
and when they said that, I was like, "Oh my god!"
I don't
even know what to do.
So we keep Chick-fil-A sauce on deck. Like they have it in the bottles. Like you can buy it Food Line.
You have the bottles.
We got the bottles.
You've bought those.
And honestly, it's the only sauce that tastes exactly like the sauce out of the store. Like we've gotten we've gotten like honey mustard sauce from like I don't know if you go to like Cookout or something, you get the honey mustard, like the Ken's honey mustard, phenomenal. But when you get it in like the bottle, nowhere near as good. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, but Chick-fil-A is like spot on. So yeah, we keep that on deck.
I've always been tempted, but like I don't think I would use it for anything else, and I don't know. I don't want to get into a habit of like putting Chick-fil-A sauce on everything. So
yeah, I don't eat like a lot of chicken nuggets and stuff. Really ever, but I will occasionally put it on my sandwich, like do a little mayonnaise, a little Chick-fil-A sauce.
A little mayonnaise. Yeah.
Put like a little wrapperoni. Yeah, it's good stuff. So
yeah, but it was a good weekend. Didn't do too much outside of that. Just I tried to go skateboard, but the park the DIY park that I go to was closed on Saturday, and it was closed on Sunday and Friday. So yeah, it's like it's a community thing. It's
okay.
oh my god, it's like a charity organization, and they just happened to have like this basketball court, and a bunch of people like came in and helped them like build a bunch of ramps and
Okay.
boxes and stuff. So it's kind of like community built, and I think like the charity isn't open on the weekends, so most of the time the park's not open on the weekends either, which
Okay.
is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I tried to do that and failed a couple
Is
of
that
times,
where
but
you record majority of your TikTok stuff?
yeah, all the recent ones have
Okay.
been from that park.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a cool place. It's normally just me there whenever I go,
Oh, neat.
and so I had the whole place to myself, which is nice.
That's pretty cool. Sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good week,
but
man. Yeah, just a lot of gaming.
that's
Hey,
pretty
nothing
good.
wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. I think I gamed a little bit too much, and I was like, okay, I've burnt myself out a little bit, and then I just switched to another game. Just started playing Cult of the Lamb.
Hey, sometimes you just need that. You need that switch up.
Yeah. But before we get more into games,
Yeah.
how was your week? How you doing?
It was good. It was a good week. Just kind of preparing for school. Daughter is going into 8th grade, and my 5-year-old Kellen's going into kindergarten, which is a huge, pretty big deal.
It's a big deal.
Not only for us, but of course for him, because it's a major, a major switch up. And he did really well. We dropped him off. We got up about, I think Brittany got up about 6 this morning. Got him ready. I think I got up about 6:20, 6:25. And sat down and just watched him eat breakfast and stuff, and then took some pictures, and then took him to school and dropped his stuff off and said our goodbyes, and yeah, it was
He's in the public's hands now.
he's in the public's hand, but
The
their school obviously with, I don't know, man, just you try not to think about it, but in the crazy world we live in, I feel like their school is pretty good. Like they don't, their doors are always locked and stuff.
Yeah,
and they don't let people in unless they get some validation, like an ID or something, or you give like a kid's name. Okay. So I felt pretty comfortable with that. But again, not something I was necessarily thinking about. But as Kaylee's been there, because that's where she went to elementary school, like I was always. It was always impressive to me, because other schools, for whatever reason, they don't lock their doors, so anybody can kind of come in anywhere. But anyways, again, that was like the afterthought of what today was. But,
fleeting.
Yeah, but it was still it's still a nice thing to know. But yeah, we dropped him off, and he started tearing up a little bit when we gave him a hug, but then he turned around and kind of went to his desk and then we left. We had went to his open house like a few days prior, the previous week. So he was familiarized and was already super excited. So, yeah, it was fun. It was fun, up to that point.
Did he come back with any homework today?
No homework. It's always
no homework.
It's always a good day. It's always a good school time when like you come home with no homework on the first
syllabus day.
Yeah. But you got to play in the playground, eat lunch in the cafeteria, all that normal stuff you're used to. So, yeah, he was excited. He had a good day. I asked him, "Are you ready to do it again tomorrow?" He said, "Yep." So, evidently,
he's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
So he had a good day. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I remember when we were kids, you were in school, and it was the point where like I was like 4 or 5 or 3 or 4, so I wasn't in school yet. But I was so jealous that you like had homework that you got to do, like stuff, just like something to bring home, from the outside. I remember crying to our mom about it.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like a very vivid memory, but I was just like so upset that like you got to I don't know, just do something, you know? Like I don't think it was the homework necessarily that I wanted, but I don't know.
Yeah, just because I was away and got to go do something. Outside of being at home every day. But he took it very well. He's done pretty good. Sounds like he was pretty good today. There's like an app on our phone that you can download that he can kind of keep track of like how he did during the day. They haven't done it yet, but they'll give him points if he was good, take away points if he was bad. Reward him in certain areas, and you can either do it at home too, like he went to bed on time. Here's an extra point, just something to extra incentive
Oh, that's cool.
to be good and do your stuff on time. So, yeah, that stuff's always cool. But other than that, pretty good week. Played some games, man. I'm a Fortnite boy now, apparently. God, dude, I've been playing so much Fortnite. It's
really
bad. I'm kind of addicted.
Don't say that.
But
come on.
Yeah, I'll talk about it here in a second. But yeah, good week so far. Yeah, hopefully even better one this week. But so I guess I'll just briefly talk about. I played a little bit more Xenoblade. I think I just entered chapter 4, so I'm still pretty early in the game. I played like for 45 minutes last night, and 30 minutes of it was a cutscene. So it's just like,
heck yeah, man.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, well, I got to the cutscene, and it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, well,
time for bed.
Yeah, it's time for bed. But I enjoyed the entire cutscene. So, but yeah, not much more. I did watch that video you showed me about the chain attack.
The chain combo.
Super helpful, because I did not know that once you got to like 150%, it brought people back and all that stuff. Like I had done it in the game.
I knew it was good,
but I didn't know
what
why.
It did.
Yeah, I didn't know why they were coming back, and then all the the Ouroboros chain attack you can do. Like I'd done it once before, but yeah, I got a better grasp. I was like, man, this thing's like 30 minutes, but I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna watch all of it, and I did. And yeah, it's super helpful. I haven't put it into use yet, but yeah,
it is really helpful
to me, because the game's a beast, man. There's so much stuff that you can miss over.
A lot of systems.
Yeah, a lot of systems. I still feel like they have the way they kind of lay out the tutorial is really good. Like they don't overwhelm you at all. It's just they kind of slow pace it. So yeah, I mean you're 15 hours in and you're still learning stuff, different stuff. But I mean that's every game. I would say you're unlocking new mechanics. Yeah, and that's like every game. A lot of people are like, oh, you're 20 hours in, you're still in the tutorial. It's like, no, it's not the tutorial anymore. You're getting new mechanics. So and that's every single game out there, whether it's a first person shooter,
progression.
Or, whatever it is. But yeah, man, I got to get through it. Because Splatoon's coming out. I'm on the end of August. Well, I mean, it's August 29th now, but I gotta put the hours into it and get this done. We have a long weekend coming up next week, so I'll probably play in a lot of that too. Just to grind through it, because Splatoon's coming out, and I know I'm gonna be playing that a lot, and so
I want you to at least get through chapter 5, because once you're past that point, you're in for the rest.
Okay. I'm in now. Like there's no like the story is super interesting. Like it's bizarre and weird, and I'm into it. So it's a really good game. It's gonna be an interesting game of the year discussion this year, Nick. I think it is. There's gonna be a lot, and there's more stuff to come. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was gonna be really easy, but
yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be tough.
Hopefully Bayonetta's really good. Hopefully Splatoon
God of War
3 is really good. God of War. I thought for sure Elden Ring was going to be a lock-in for Game of the Year, but as I played Xenoblade and think about the other stuff that we talked about last week, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting time.
Well, Harrison,
good.
I just want to touch on it a little bit. I finished up Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
You did. I saw the tweet.
Yeah, I sent out the tweet, and it was very emotional. The ending is very, very emotional. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, about the ending, but it was one of the best endings to a game.
Okay,
I think in recent memory.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's so like thinking to Elden Ring a little bit. It's so different from that game, because like that game, like I couldn't give a crap about the story. When all is said and done, it's more gameplay and exploration. Whereas in this game, it's like the story is like I'm locked into the story. I think the story is phenomenal. It really does. Well, saying what I'm about to say is a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. But it's a really, really great game, and it's great if you've played the other ones, and it's also great by itself.
Okay.
And that's all I will say. But
okay.
Holy crap, dude! This game was so good.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not very many games that could be like tearjerkers. There's some that have done it for me, but yeah, I could definitely see, it could go in that direction for sure.
Yeah.
Just because I enjoy all the acting, like all the characters, like I really like.
All the characters are great.
Yeah, like all the main characters are great.
Yeah.
And I know there's tons more like hero characters and stuff I can unlock. But so now that you're done, are you going to go back and finish up side quests, get more hero characters, or are you just kind of taking a break from it?
Yeah. So I finished and I jumped right back in. And
New Game Plus, baby, let's go.
No, I didn't do New Game Plus. I went just back into the game. It's one of those things where it sets you back right before the final boss.
Okay.
And you still like unlock stuff that you can do, but hopefully that's not a spoiler. That's more of a mechanic. But
yeah. Oh well, yeah, maybe I don't know.
maybe to somebody, but I mean that's how a lot of games work. But
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I went and started doing some side quests. We just went and explored, just like went to new areas and kept finding new places. And God, this game is huge. It's so big. It's like just. I don't know, man. It's so good. I got a chain combo that was worth like 3 million damage.
Oh my gosh!
So I felt pretty good about that.
I think
right, that was like right after I watched the video.
50, I think, or something like that.
Dude, just wait, bro. Wait until you.
Sweet, man. Well, I'm glad it started or it ended strongly.
It really did.
Yeah.
It ended very strongly.
That's good to hear.
In my opinion.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I guess before we talk about, I'll talk about Fortnite, man. So, I've been playing.
Yeah, oh, here we go. This guy over here.
I do, man. I've been playing nothing but the zero build stuff. So, like, I'll take everything back about what I said about Fortnite. It's fun, dude. It's just a fun. So the building stuff, I could really care less. I know people that's the bread and butter for Fortnite. I get it, but I'm not good enough.
Good care less.
I'm not. It's not appealing for me to shoot somebody and then within 15 seconds they've got a 50-foot tower no.
That's art, dude. That's art.
Yeah, that's just not fun to me. But, I mean, just going in the world like I finished all the Dragon Ball stuff, so I got like for those who don't know, the Shenron, the main dragon in the series on Earth. You get like a miniaturized version of him, and he's like your glider. So you stand on him, and you're like floating down.
Oh, that's cool,
dude. There's so many cool like, just like like everything in the battle pass, like all the stuff. Like there's so many quests. I think I was talking about when we were chatting when we were playing Splatoon, but like you're constantly getting just XP for doing even like the most minute stuff, like.
Mm-hmm.
Like running in the environment, like, oh, you ran for 5,000 meters or something, like over across.
Get something.
Yeah, you're always getting stuff. Like today or earlier, there's Indiana Joneses in the game, and I was doing his like quest or whatever. Like one of them was like, do damage to other players with a vehicle or standing on top, because I mean that's a lot of those movies. Like they're driving and shooting and stuff.
Cool.
So I grabbed like a big vehicle. Nick, are you still there?
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
I can still hear you. Okay. I saw the video kind of the video stopped for a second. There we go. But so I grabbed like a tractor trailer and just drove around and just started hitting people and like sending them flying and doing like tons of damage. So just there's just so many things that you can do in the game. There's like the whole map is gray if you haven't played in a while. So you go to like new locations and you get XP for doing that. You can fish, which is.
What do you mean it's all gray?
So like the map itself, like if you haven't played it and you haven't discovered like a portion of the area, it'll be grayed out like with the question mark. And once you go there, it'll say, oh, this is Salty Springs or whatever the area is. So it kind of incentivizes you to explore the map. So like. Most of the time, like I'm not even actually fighting anybody. I'm just exploring, looting, just doing like random side quests. Like there's like time trials in it that you can do.
Wait, what? Just like regular time trials?
Yeah, and
like
I think it's
here to here
yeah, I think it's because like for Dragon Ball, like, there's a bunch of like different quests you can do. So I don't know if this is specific to Dragon Ball or if that's just in the game already. But that was part of one of the Dragon Ball quests, which I did. So there's just like something to do literally every game. Like there's so many different quests that you can do, and you can, if you say, okay, for the Indiana Jones quest, you've got to loot three chests in this specific area. So you do that, and like when you're on like the loading screen or like on the quest screen, like it'll mark it on the map for you, so you can just go there and immediately land, do it, get weapons, and then obviously towards the end, you're back into like the main battle royale stuff, and everything's closing in, and you gotta get kills and stuff, but. Yeah, like I'm to the point where it's like before I was just going for the Dragon Ball stuff, like going for the Kamehameha and like the cloud and stuff to fly, and now like I'm not even thinking about it anymore. Now I'm just playing, man. It's just you should play it.
Exactly
dude.
what they wanted.
They got me. They got me, man.
They hooked you. They're bringing you right in. I spent the
money. I got the Dragon Ball. I got the Dragon Ball stuff. One of the Dragon Balls characters are on sale right now, so I'm thinking about just getting that. But I've been accumulating V-Bucks because of the Battle Pass. So they got me, man. Like now I'm like, all right, I kind of want this. Like they don't have it anymore, but like, all right, I want the Master Chief skin. Like, do I want the Ariana Grande skin? Yeah, come on, let's go. So it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's the best multiverses out there. It's just super dumb, but it's also fun. Like it's super fun. It's just
crazy how much it's changed. When I played it, back in the day, back in 2018, there weren't these characters. Like it was just these proprietary skins.
Yeah.
That you could get, and now it's evolved.
Absolutely. They still have like skins and stuff that you can. Like the kind of skins that they make or whatever, that's just kind of like in the world of Fortnite, but then they got all the other stuff and they got these dumb dances and it's just cool. Hilarious, man. It's just always fun, and like you die and you're like, whatever, man. I got chokehold by Darth Vader, or Master Chief came out of nowhere and blasted me with a shotgun. Like it's hilarious. So I think you should try it. I honestly think you should just boot it up one time.
Okay.
See how it is. And
all right.
We'll play some dubs.
I'll do it.
Man. Play some dubs.
Have you won a lot?
I have actually. It's funny. It's funny because Kaylee's huge into Fortnite, and she's watched me a couple of times, and she's constantly like, oh, you need to grab this, you need to grab that, and I'm like, no, I got an assault rifle and a shotgun, I'm good. And then she's like, what do you mean you're good? You need like shields and this and that and this and that, and I'm like, calm down. And then I won. I won in front of her, and I was like, I'm
the best.
I'm the best. So there's been a bunch where I've lost too, but it's fun. It's just fun. They kind of half like the players are bots, so like you'll come across like people that are just terrible, and it makes you feel really good because you kill them, and then you come across someone that's actually a real player, and you get stomped, and you're like, oh, okay, that was not a bot. So it's fun. It's just
just a good time.
Yeah, it's something that like Halo Infinite, for example, is a game that they got a battle pass. They've kind of they've always got something to do, but you have to play a specific playlist to do it. And this, you just go into the world and you can just do whatever you want, and you're constantly getting stuff. So like, I kind of wish I kind of want Halo Infinite to be that. I want to constantly see the numbers go up. Like that's what people like to see. And they don't do that. So, but
if you're getting rewarded for walking, like, I mean that like, it's such a simple thing, but like it is really rewarding. Like it just gives you those like million little serotonin hits.
Yeah.
Of like doing 5 challenges in a single game, and
yeah, you'll do like weekly challenges that you're not even trying to do. Like when you get a victory royale, you get like a little crown like in your inventory, and when someone kills you, it drops and they can pick it up. And like I had one guy that came out of nowhere, blasted me, picked up the crown and did like some little dance on top of me, and I just started laughing. I was like, you can't be mad at that. Like that's like the teabag of this game, is just like some dumb dance.
Little dance.
But all right, enough about Fortnite. I know it's old news, but it's still fun. But
Yeah.
um,
Well,
and then
speaking
Nick,
of
we let's talk about some before we talk about Splatoon, I want to hear about Code of the Lamb.
oh yeah, oh, I forgot to congratulate you. You have been indoctrinated into my cult. I just want to welcome you. My other friend Harrison has made you eat poop.
Okay,
Made you eat a little poop meal. So
is
he was
it
he came up to me one day at the cult. And he was like, "Hey, you should make Harrison eat poop." I was like, "Oh shit! All right, let me just make him eat poop." And I did it. And then you like threw up, and you got sick, and you had to go lay down in bed for the
was it
day.
like a character you created in the game?
Yeah,
Okay.
like every time you indoctrinate someone, you can name them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, I didn't know if like my like me or like avatar or something came up in there.
No, no, no.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's pretty funny. I really like I've named all of my characters so far, so I'm just yeah, I got my wife in there, I got my dad in there, I got our dad in there. I got everybody.
Nice.
You're I gave you a special gift where you never sleep. You can
Okay.
always work. So you can always like, do something on our land, which is
Nice.
pretty nice. I don't know how it affects your mental, but you're doing a bang up job. So
Nice. Hey, that's all I can. Hey,
good stuff.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I gave my wife a gift that makes her live a little bit longer. So we'll see how long she makes it. She's like 37 at this point. So
Nice.
yeah.
So what's
So
the?
Cult of the Lamb.
I haven't seen much. Yeah, I haven't seen much of it. Like what's the gameplay? Like what's the loop? I've heard good
So
things.
it's kind of it's half like farm slash community simulator,
Okay.
or just half sim game, half dungeon crawler slash roguelike, or roguelite, I should say.
Yeah.
The premise is to pretty much get as many people into your cult as possible. Then you put them to work, and you pretty much try to automate everything through your followers, and then you can level them up, increase their faith levels. You give sermons every day. You like sacrifice people once
Nice.
they get to a high enough level, and then like the other part of it is you going through these kind of dungeons and trying to kill the four old gods, and that part's pretty like it's been pretty fun. It's like kind of similar to a mix of like Hades and Binding of Isaac,
Okay.
and I don't think it plays as well as Hades, but
Yeah,
it's
Hades was pretty good.
yeah, but it's a serviceable roguelite, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm definitely more interested in like the sim part of it right now, just because it's kind of fun to like build those relationships with people, and each one has like different traits. Some people are more susceptible to being I think it's like dissenters, which is
Okay.
people who go against your teachings. And yeah, some people level up faster, some people don't listen to dissenters, so they can't like their faith can't be wavered at all. There's like a lot of like little quirks to each character, and I'm enjoying it so far. Like I don't know, there's fishing, you can fish,
Okay.
you can there's like a card game in there, like a dice game as well. So this it's kind of like a little bit of everything. Yeah, like a little
You
not as good as Gwent, but
okay. Okay.
it is pretty fun from what I played. Um, yeah, I've only put like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours into it so far, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a really funny game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. And like now, like I have like a lot of people, and whenever people eat food, there's a chance that they just like poop right on the spot. It's like that's happening a lot, so I need to like build an outhouse.
You putting some stuff in the Kool-Aid, Nick, that's causing them to.
I guess I don't know what I'm doing, but then whenever someone sees poop on the ground, they'll throw up, they'll get sick. So it's kind of like a chain reaction, and
Oh gosh,
so you kind of have to be on top of it. You gotta watch people, make sure no one's pooping where they shouldn't be.
that's hilarious.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, but it's fun.
Are you playing
It's a
on
fun
the
game.
Switch?
Yeah, I'm on the Switch.
Okay.
The performance in the dungeons isn't great.
Okay.
I would say it caps at 30, but it's more likely in like the 25 to 30 range.
It dips a little bit.
Or 25. It dips a little bit.
Okay.
It gets a little bit busy just with how the art style is. But yeah, it's a good game. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out at some point just for Game of the Year stuff. So yeah, I'll probably pick it up at some point, maybe maybe in December or something. I don't know.
Maybe it'll come to Game Pass eventually.
Yeah, maybe. Cool. Cool.
But yeah, it's a cool game.
I'm glad it's a cool game. Let's talk about Splatoon 3.
Splatoon.
Let's do it. Team Scissors. We didn't win, but
yeah, I have my qualms. I definitely have my qualms with the tricolor Splat War, or tricolor Turf War. I should say.
Yeah. So we played together. We played a little bit of Turf War. Well, I guess that's the only thing you can play. But
yeah, we played like the regular Turf War.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and then
it jumped over into. I mean, it feels like as a Splatoon game, it feels really good. It's probably the best feeling Splatoon game to date.
Very snappy, very quick.
Well, I guess we played 4 maps, right? Because it switched over. So I mean, the 4 maps that we played, some are new, some are old. Those are really fun. They gave you a slew of weapons to use. The bow and arrow one's cool, but like I don't know, I've never been good with like the sniper rifle ones. So
me neither.
I prefer more to just like the machine gun or like the slosher or the paint roller or something like that. But it's a cool weapon. So yeah, I mean, bunch of new weapons. All the new like abilities, like the crab tank is super cool.
Yeah, the crab is awesome.
The shark,
the big hammer.
Yeah, the big hammer. Is pretty cool. Like the one where you launch like the shark, whatever, and it explodes.
Yeah.
That one's really cool. It's like all the abilities are awesome. So far.
Yeah, I really love the abilities. I think. Yeah, because the two new ones are the bow and arrow, and then kind of like the katana one. I don't know if you use that one. That one's pretty good.
I did. Yeah, this like the swiper, like the katana swiper thing. Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah, it's like super fast, kind of like the paintbrush or whatever. And then you can kind of like fling paint, I think, too.
Yeah, you can kind of fling it around. But I mean, this definitely feels like the best Splatoon gameplay wise.
Yeah,
I think the lobby is really great. I think it's such a big improvement over 2, and especially over 1. I think it's so much easier to invite people to a game than it was back in 2. I think it was like virtually impossible back in 2.
It was super hard. Like I don't think you could actually invite people. I think you had to go into a game and then hopefully they could click on your name and get in. Like it was really hard. It was really dumb.
Archaic, you know.
So, but I created a lobby. They had a voice chat option that you could click, but it never worked. So I don't know if that's legit or not. I don't know if you have to use that and then you have to maybe use the app. Because I know they mentioned the app, so I think you have to use the app. Maybe
might be the app.
Yeah.
Because there's a new Splatoon app.
Yeah. So
which is
weird. I mean, I get it. You don't want to hear trolls and stuff, but I mean, you could just have that turned like where you can't hear people. Like you can only hear like your friends or something. I don't know. Nintendo's always been weird about that stuff. So I mean, when a game doesn't have it, it's just whatever at this point. If they do add it at some point, cool. But it's not a game change. Like it's not a turn off or anything. We can work like Discord, phone call, whatever. You can work around it.
And like if you're playing by yourself, you're wanting to communicate. Like matches are so short, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
People generally know what's going on the map. It's not super hard to figure it out.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty low stakes.
You don't have to. A big deal. Yeah,
you don't really need to. I mean, you can, I guess, if you really wanted to. Oh, we got to push this exact zone or something. So yeah, it's not a big deal. It still feels like a pretty casual experience, which is cool. But Nick, we finally did we played a couple of the tricolor battles, and not super great to start.
Yeah, we were scissors. We were team scissors. That means we were the defenders. And the premise for those who haven't played it is the defenders are in the middle of the map, and there's 4 of you. and you're kind of getting attacked from like a pincer attack for
Yeah.
both sides, from two people on each side from two different teams. And the objective of the other teams are to control that thing in the middle. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, like the Ultra Link or something like
Ultra
that.
Link.
Yeah.
And when they control that, it essentially sets up a sprinkler on one side of the map, and it'll just like constantly sprinkle uh,
The
paint
respective
or,
color, whatever.
or ink. Yeah. And you can't destroy that once it's going. So your
Yeah.
entire job as a defender is to constantly defend the middle of the map. But the problem with that is if you're defending the middle, then you can't spread out to the other sides and try to ink the most turf. And what that's what the winner is based off of, is who inked the most turf during the match. So if you lose that point in the middle, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah. I mean, we played what, 2 times, I think, maybe 3 times, and it happened every time.
And I played 3 more times after that.
Okay, and it happened every time.
Every single time where we were ahead in the first half, and then they got it once, and then that was pretty much it, because they got it again and got it again. And like you and I, like, we're pretty good. We're like pretty decent Splatoon players, I'd say. Like we're not bad. So it's not like, I don't think it's the luck of the draw. Like,
yeah, I think there's probably gonna be some adjusting to that mode. Which I mean, I guess.
But that's the point of this.
Yeah, I mean the point is it's 4v2v2, so like they're supposed to have the advantage, but like it shouldn't be where they get this 1 point and it's just over automatically, because like you said, like the whole point of turf war is inking the most, so we shouldn't have to defend one specific spot the entire time, you know. So I guess if you're a really great squad of 4 and you can just kind of dominate, even if you lose the middle, like you could maybe push to certain areas and take control and maybe win. But I mean, most of the time people aren't playing 4v4 like on a full squad or whatever. So yeah, it felt a little bit unbalanced for the winning team, I should say.
But that's the purpose of this test fire, is to, iron out the kinks. And yeah, it was just kind of frustrating. I really didn't play the rest of the night after that, because I didn't enjoy playing the tricolor.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and like it kind of sucks because like Team Scissors was ahead. I mean, not by a big margin, but they were ahead, and we ended up in last place.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Like, so I mean, that means like just about every single time Team Scissors, like, they get to a tricolor, we lost, and that pushed the other teams ahead of us. So that's now you made that, Matt, they made that point. They need to do some balancing fixes for that.
You don't go from first to last without something being wrong. Like,
right. And plus, if you're the winning team, you can't choose the tricolor battle. It only just happens at random. Which, I mean, I think the 3 times we played, it happened twice, so maybe it's probably a pretty high percentage.
Because everyone on the other side was probably choosing tricolor battles.
Nick, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go say goodnight to Kellen.
Okay. Yeah, and to that point, just not to be a sore loser, but it did feel a little bit unbalanced, and hopefully they end up changing it. I'm sure they will. I think they specifically I think Nintendo specifically shouted out the tricolor turf war as something they're gonna change once the game actually releases, or change after launch. So they definitely have some time to fix it, and who knows when the next Splatfest will be, and that's when these show up. So not a deal breaker by any means, but just a slight annoyance in the Splatfest.
So any final thoughts on Splatoon?
I think it's a bigger improvement. I think there's a bigger gap between 2 and 3 than there was between 1 and 2.
For sure, yeah. Just like the environment, like
Yeah, it's a sick hub.
It's huge hub world, or hub area, I should say. Really, I think graphically it looks a lot better than Splatoon did. Um,
that ink, man, that thing shines.
yeah, I mean it shined on the Wii U, man. I was impressed when we played the first time.
Rest in peace, Wii U.
Yeah, right. um, yeah, that ink looks real good. So, yeah, I'm super excited. Again, I think it's absolutely gonna be a day one purchase for me. I've always loved Splatoon. It's so unique. Nothing else is like it.
It made you get the Wii U.
It made me drop $350 on that Wii U. Yeah, I did. No regrets though, man. No regrets.
No regrets here.
But yeah, it's good.
I did. I ended up booting up the Octo expansion.
Okay.
For 2, and I probably played like an hour's worth of it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It's weird going from 3 to 2 because it definitely feels.
Really? Okay, so it feels pretty different.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Wow. Okay. It felt pretty quick to me when I was playing, but I haven't played Splatoon 2 in so long, so I don't really have a frame of reference for the controls.
It's almost like floatier.
Really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it felt super good. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Did you check out I have not yet watched the single player stuff. Did you watch that stuff?
The what stuff?
The single player stuff for Splatoon 3?
I did, yeah. I watched a little bit of it. And now having played the Octo expansion,
I heard it looked pretty similar to that. Okay.
It's very similar. Cool. Where you can still you choose specific weapons. I think certain weapons give you more money or more experience.
Okay.
Like in the Octo expansion.
Cool.
But yeah, the single player looks really good. It looks like good fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think this game has a lot of potential. The fact that I can actually play Salmon Run without having to wait for a stupid time slot. Like I think I only played Salmon Run like maybe twice, like in the entire time of Splatoon 2, just because like I didn't know when the time happened, and like I usually was not gonna, or I wasn't playing when it did, and I wasn't gonna make time to play this mode. So yeah, I'm glad we could actually play it now without having to wait. That was such a Nintendo thing to do, but I don't know, man. That was a weird decision they made with that game, for that specific mode. But
I do have a question.
Yeah,
and if anyone knows the answer, feel free to DM us, Gaming WT Broscast on Twitter, or Gaming WT Bros on Twitter. But do you know if there's a way to transfer your Splatoon 2 save data between Switches? Because I know it doesn't support cloud saves.
You should be able to.
Can I move the save data onto an SD card?
You should. So, yes, you should also be able to, depending on like what Switch you're wanting to move it to. Yeah, you should be able to move it to an SD card.
So I can move the actual. But wouldn't I have to format? Like if let's say I have an SD card in my OLED.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe if you have do you have another SD card, like the original, like 32 gig, maybe you can use to put in there, format it, put it onto there, then put it onto the OLED, and then transfer it to the system memory on the Switch for the OLED. You might be able to do it that way. It's kind of complicated, but yeah.
Yeah, I really wish they allowed cloud saves. I know 3 is going to.
Okay,
but
cool.
Yeah, just because I ended up having to play Splatoon 2 on my OG Switch, just because that's where like my profile, my character was.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize they didn't support cloud saves for that game. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I guess it's multiplayer based, so they didn't want people cheating. But Jesus, man, whatever. Who cares?
Well, speaking of things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
You want to jump into the news?
Yeah, let's jump into the main topic of the show this week is so everywhere pretty much in the major territories except for the US, PS5 is getting an increase across the board for both the digital and disc drive one. Is it $50, Nick? Essentially,
yeah, it's about $50 equivalent. I think Australia is getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, their stuff is always way more expensive over there.
Yeah, and then Canada Canada as well. I think Japan. I mean, they're all bad, like.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time like a video game console has been increased in its life cycle?
It did happen before. I think it happened. It might have happened with a 360.
So not necessarily like a refresh, like a slim or something like that. That's fine. Like I have no qualms with that. But like like an existing model that's been on the market for a few years with no slim, no pro version, has there been an increase? You said the 360, but I don't remember that. I don't remember that happening.
None.
I think the 360 was what, like 250 and 300 or something for their stuff.
It was 250,
or maybe the Elite was 400. But that I don't think that came out until that was after. That was a couple years after the 360 launched.
Okay.
I think this might be the first time. But again, I could be wrong. I'm kind of blurring the PS, because and when PS3 launched, it launched at like $600, and they dropped it down to like $400.
Yeah,
which is insane. It's not like to think about that now.
Xbox One was $500 when it launched.
Yeah, because it came with the Kinect.
God, yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. So,
yeah, you might be right.
I mean, either way, it sucks. Like they say it's due
to macroeconomics.
Yeah, they say that. I had a feeling, man. And this is what scares me about the PSVR 2. I think that thing's gonna be like $700, $600 or $700 at least minimum.
You think at least $600?
At least $600, because I mean, look at the Quest. That we talked about it with the Quest getting the price increase, $100 for both. And PlayStation and Sony, they have this chip on their shoulder that they can charge extra for anything. We've already established this. They've got the $70 games now.
They started the $70. They started that
games.
trend.
Yep. So they started that trend. They're charging $70 for a remaster at this point. Like we're starting to see this trend. I'm sure this the DualSense Edge, the Microsoft Elite 2 controller, I think is what, $180 at this point. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure that thing is going to be at least $200, probably a little bit more. And it doesn't even include I don't think it includes the additional sticks, right? That's separate, right? You have to purchase sticks separate.
Is it modular?
It is modular.
Okay.
So you can replace the sticks themselves, which is cool, because you can't do that with the Elite controller. You can replace like the thumbsticks, but not the actual sticks. So those break, unless you're hopefully you got a warranty on it. But I think those are separate too. So I don't know. I mean, you tweeted out, you made a TikTok about it, like PlayStation taking the L this generation, and obviously their sales are good. I think Xbox is right there with them. I think they're just getting more out the door, and they're able to just sell more, while for whatever reason PlayStation can't. So what are your thoughts? My take on Sony right now. Not being a hater, because again, I love PlayStation. I love their stuff, but when is enough? Like, how far are they going to go? How far do they think they can get away with charging so much for their stuff?
The thing is, I jumped into a Twitter Spaces this morning just as a bystander, just to listen to people talk.
Yeah.
And half of it was just an echo chamber of people, and they were talking about the acquisition today.
Yeah.
But it kind of led into the discussion of, where is Sony going? Where are they going in the future? What is their end goal? And it really just ended up being just an echo chamber of people kind of talking Sony up and saying, well, they have a plan. We said the same thing about them 4 years ago, and then we got, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, God of War, and they were like, just don't make any judgments yet. Just kind of hold your judgments until until next year, until we see what games they have next year. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Xbox doesn't have any exclusives in 2022. They didn't have any in 2021, really.
Yeah.
Sony's they're having 2 or 3 this year with Gran Turismo 7, Horizon, and God of War. Granted, all those are on PS4.
Yeah.
They really haven't had like a true PS5 game in the past year or so.
But people don't bring that up either.
They don't bring it up.
They don't bring it up.
And okay, I should caveat this because we're fans of PlayStation, whatever. I have a PS5. I'm really excited for God of War, but they really have a stick up their ass. And I think Jim Ryan is one of the main causes of this.
Yeah.
When he took over a few years ago, Sony really went downhill pretty fast. They're still high from the PS4 generation, which was an epic generation.
Yeah, super great.
They started a lot of new franchises like, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, rebooted Spider-Man, rebooted God of War. All of those were fantastic.
Yeah, and they came off like the high buzz, or they banked off of how horrible Xbox started off with what was his name?
The old CEO.
Oh gosh, it was like Roderick or something. What is his name? Don Matrick.
Don Matrick.
Don Matrick. Horrible. Cause that was the whole online only thing, in which now that wasn't, it's not that much different than where we are now. So like maybe they had an idea, but like the way they presented it was not good. And then when Phil Spencer took over and Game Pass started getting there, and I don't know, it's been uphill for Xbox. Yes, we are still in a drought of exclusives. Next year is going to be huge. So that's coming. Halo Infinite. Yeah. You could argue like they've acquired all these people. They don't really get involved. They kind of let people run. Maybe with 343, they should get involved a little bit more than they have been, just because like they need that product to be great. And 343 kind of dropped the ball on it. I mean, the gameplay was fantastic, but everything else was just kind of middling. So yeah, like my point, they were off the high, or like the low expectations of the Xbox, which jumped them in sales for the PS4 because it was a much more appealing platform, and I think it was cheaper too. I think Xbox One launched at $5 and PS4 was $4, so they were already
ahead.
They already had pretty like budget wise. So yeah, continue on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, to your point, that they had like such a great generation with the PS4, and it's funny, their slogan is "Play has no limits." But
does it?
It's starting to, between the $70 games, the $550 consoles, $70 remasters, their version of Game Pass not really offering any true benefits. No day one games to PlayStation Plus. Like, there's so many anti-consumer practices in place at PlayStation that it's turning me off to them. And granted, I'm still gonna play their games, still gonna play God of War. I'm sure it's gonna be great. But their problem this generation is that they had all those games, they had all those new franchises last generation, and they were all great. Now we're getting to a point where that stuff is gonna be iterative.
Yep. Just
like Horizon Forbidden West was, just like God of War might be. It could be, just slightly iterative and improving on, the base set in God of War.
Yeah.
And they can't just ride on that.
Not forever.
So not forever. I mean, you can have great sequels. We're excited for Breath of the Wild 2. We're excited for, a bunch of sequels. Like,
yeah,
you can't always be creating new IP, but if you pair that with a higher price console 2 years after it comes on the market, and people still can't get them, and everything else is increasing in price. Inflation's terrible. Like, I don't know. Gaming is a luxury hobby. Like, it's just kind of like it's kind of like a slap in the face to people who have been with Sony for years, and now not only can they not get a console, which isn't Sony's fault, but now they're price gouging them.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at, I mean, PlayStation and Xbox, like parent company Sony, Microsoft is the parent company for Xbox. Microsoft has a lot more money than Sony does, like a lot more money, so they can pay the extra to get these parts that are just not available to everybody. So I'm sure they're paying a little bit of a premium to get these things out the door. But right now, Xbox they don't care how you're playing their games. They just want you to buy whatever it's PC, Xbox. They've got their streaming stick coming out. I think sometime next year, which I'll probably pick one up because I'll throw that on like on my living room TV. That's super cool. So that's where they're at. So they can afford to they can continue to afford to lose money while they're getting Game Pass established, while they're waiting on Redfall to come out, while they're waiting on Starfield to come out, while they're finish up this acquisition for Blizzard and Activision to get Call of Duty and all this stuff. So they're holding out, and again, like you said with Sony and PlayStation with the stick up their ass thing, like they have been winning for a long time, in the console war space, right? So they've got that mindset that but when is enough? Like, when are people at some point? I'm not talking about like the diehard Sony fans, because they'll justify anything that PlayStation does. Oh, it's $70. It's a high quality premium experience. Blah blah blah.
From the ground remake.
Yeah. Yeah. $50 more for this console. It's worth $700. Whatever. Whatever the case is, right? They're always going to justify it. But there's people that maybe at the point back when Xbox One launched, people heard in the mainstream that it wasn't a great system, and they're like, all right, well, screw it, I'll get PlayStation 4 this time, and they've been with the PlayStation family ever since, because that's just what they know. They're your Call of Duty gamers, maybe your Battlefield gamers, like your kind of standard stuff.
Who go where their friends go.
Where the friends go, right? So like maybe that falls off at some point. Now that PlayStation has started to make these anti-consumer moves, and how long does that last?
If you have a Call of Duty gamer, if you have a Fortnite gamer, Apex, whatever, obviously those are available everywhere. But 2 years down the line, when someone can buy either a PlayStation 5 for $550 or an Xbox for either $500 or for $300 and be able to play Call of Duty for free, air quotes, with Game Pass. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. If I was a casual gamer myself, I would go with that option, because not only am I playing Call of Duty for free essentially, but I can try out other games.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation, it's just such a high barrier to entry, and it's getting even higher. And I know that this price increase is only in the rest of the world, but I feel like they're kind of like shadow increasing it here, because I don't know if you've noticed, but there have been a lot of Horizon bundles available for $550.
Mm-hmm.
More so than just the regular PS5. Yeah. So I feel like they're kind of like, I don't know, secretly doing it here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I get like notices from like GameStop all the time, like, hey, we got these bundles, which I think that's more of a GameStop bundle. I think they try to do that to like stop people from eating them up.
Well, this is specifically through their website.
Right.
Like they have the queue for
So yeah, that makes sense. I think the US dollar is doing pretty well compared to other places. So maybe that I think that probably plays a factor into why they're not increasing in the US. But also the US is majority of where their sales are probably at right now. So like they don't want to piss off you don't want to piss off the US people, I guess, is what they're So I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I understand inflation, and you just got to increase the cost. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, Xbox came out and said they're not increasing their prices, which makes sense. They can't afford to do it. They're not going to do it. They want you to buy the console, get you in the Xbox ecosystem, get Game Pass, and then you're in. And then like Nintendo and the Switch, they're not going to do it because they've always.
Why would they do that?
It's been
5 years.
Yeah, they're 5 years, 6 years into their life cycle. Heavily rumored Pro stuff again. Whatever coming out maybe next year, maybe not. Just kind of depends. Just launched an OLED version that's more expensive. Um, and Nintendo has always had like the budget friendly console. Like they've never had anything above $400, or 350.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago or last week. Um, so they're just not going to increase the price of their stuff. There's no point. They sell too much. Like even
And
so.
yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was pretty much done with my thought, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just frustrating.
and the Switch was they were profiting per console when it came out. Like they made sure they were not taking a loss, and I think Sony was taking a loss, or maybe they were making a slight profit.
Yeah.
On the PS5s, but
and generally companies do take a loss when they first launch these things, and then they start to kind of iterate and find out ways to, decrease the cost of like, the parts and stuff like that.
Increasing efficiencies. And,
yeah.
I don't know, bettering their supply chain, but I don't know. They just came out and said they had record profits.
Yeah.
You can't say that and then be like, guys, this economy is really bad.
I would be very curious that if like the Quest didn't come out and increase their stuff, like, I mean, surely this had to be in the talks prior to that, but I wonder if that played a factor into it. Like, oh well, they're doing it. Granted, it's VR versus a home console. It's different, but they're like, oh well, people are talking about this. Maybe we can get away with it. Maybe we'll only do $50 or equivalent or whatever it is. So I don't know. It's just I understand the business side of things, but it's just with all their other like if none other stuff was going on, and this was just it, then we just have to take it. But again, like you said, it's just very anti-consumer this generation. Very anti-consumer.
Adding insult to injury.
Yeah.
But of course, people try to justify it and say, well, everything else is increasing in price. Why does the PlayStation have to increase in price? Well, because the PS5 is not a necessity.
No.
That is elastic. It's not. The demand is going to go down when the price goes up. Yeah. It's not like gas, where you need gas no matter what. Yeah. You're going to buy gas. You're going to complain about it, but you're going to buy gas. People won't buy the PS5 if it's 800 AUD in Australia, like, or however much it is. Like people just straight up won't buy it. They'll switch consoles. Yeah,
I mean, like, there's definitely brand loyalty, of course, with everything, but at some point you're like, man, it's just too much at this point. So maybe you're like, hey, I'll opt in and or opt out and buy the $300 Xbox console, or buy a Switch, or whatever the case is, or just wait. I mean, again, like you said, it's not something that has needed to be. Someone has to have it. Like, they can certainly wait, but yeah, it's just disappointing. It's just really disappointing.
So you're someone who you don't have a PS5 yet.
Yeah.
I know this price increase doesn't affect the US, but are you still hoping to get one this year? Are you looking to get one around God of War time?
I think no. I think at this point, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on other games during that time, and God of War I'll probably just buy it on the PS4. And if I do get it, if I do get a PS5 later on, like I'll pay the $10 extra fee, whatever it is. But at this point, no, I don't really feel. There's a lot of negativity with PlayStation that I've seen lately, and it's just I don't really want one anymore. And it was never a huge drive for me. Like, if I saw one in the store, that might be a different thing, but I haven't ever looked for one. And honestly, there's just the games that have been out right now. Like, there's nothing I really want to play. Like, I want to play Deathloop, but that's probably going to come to Game Pass here in the next few months. I definitely want to play Demon Souls. But that's a remake. I can miss it. Spider-Man Miles, like I haven't played it yet, but I'll probably just end up picking up on the PS4 if I can find like a cheaper copy of it at this point. Ratchet and Clank, I've never even played that series, so I'm not missing out anything there. I heard it's great, but
it was great.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm I'm not missing anything out because I never played that franchise before. So I mean, right now there's nothing I can really think that I want to play, and nothing in the future right now. I mean, I know there's Wolverine coming, Spider-Man 2, but
is there anything else? I know
that's it really.
KOTOR kind of got canned.
Yeah, I think they switched studios for that actually, so that's probably a ways out at this point now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing, and that's kind of how it is for me for PlayStation. Like I just get the first party stuff. So it's always been that platform for me. It's never been my main console. Because I don't really like the controller that much, compared to the Xbox, just the offset dual sticks. So I never played like Call of Duty or any other like multi-platform thing. So, I mean, I know I'll get one eventually, just because I'm an all-around gamer and I want to play everything. But this has been the first time in a generation where I'm not actively looking to get one.
Yeah, I haven't played mine too much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought the Switch 5 years ago, but I'm still playing that more than the other consoles, which is
same here.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. Well,
yeah, that goes to show like you don't need all the power. You just need really quality games.
You need the experience
and a good experience. And not saying that PlayStation or Xbox doesn't provide that, but I mean, I don't know. Nintendo's having one of its best years ever, and we're 5 years into its life cycle.
Yeah, you know? I would agree with that. I think they're having a really, really good year. So, I think there's been some misses, but
yeah, there's certainly like Mario Strikers, dud.
Strikers, and Switch Sports.
Sports, yep.
But you know, when you have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Pokemon Arceus, Xenoblade.
You got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out.
Scarlet Violet, Bayonetta, Fire Emblem Warriors,
Splatoon,
pretty good.
Maybe,
yeah, Splatoon. I mean,
maybe Metroid, maybe another Zelda. We don't know yet. Coming in September, baby.
Dude, Nintendo, they've been killing it this year. Absolutely killing it. They just pump out games, man. They really have it down. They have it down pat.
Yeah, and every time I hear like the argument, like, "Oh, it's not power," like I just laugh. I'm like, "Do you not play their games? Like they're optimized so well."
Yeah, they're brilliant.
So, whatever. Nick, you want to read the next one that kind of goes along with the?
Yeah. So, kind of, I mean, this was announced early this morning, but Sony is buying Savage Games, who is like a mobile developer, so they're going to focus their efforts on mobile gaming, which makes sense. That's a big money maker.
Yeah.
It still doesn't give a lot of faith in the future of Sony, but it's probably for the best that they have somebody developing for mobile.
No, they're doing existing and new IPs, right?
Yeah,
from my understanding. Okay.
Yeah, so not much to say about that. I mean, like I don't really care about mobile stuff, so I'm not gonna follow what they do too hard. But
no,
yeah, we'll see. I mean, smaller acquisition, definitely not Square Enix like people thought. But maybe that's coming. Maybe it's coming next week.
I think it will be coming at some point. I feel like they would be the. It's gonna be very curious. Like after Xbox is done with this, Blizzard Activision acquisition.
Yeah,
I'm wondering what's next. I know there's some. I know they've got something else up their sleeve.
Who? Xbox or Sony?
Xbox.
You think there's another acquisition?
I think so. I think they'll get the company Certain Affinity. They've helped a lot, like on Halo multiplayer stuff. I think they might get them. I think they might get them. Maybe we'll get like another Halo, something else that's not 343 or something new. So I don't know.
I think Nintendo should acquire some people.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think they should get whatever subsidiary of Square Enix who's doing all these HD 2D remakes.
Yeah,
Nintendo needs to get them.
Yeah, exactly.
And do some remakes of like Golden Sun.
Yeah, some cool stuff.
Fire Emblem, some older games. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm just dreaming over here.
Yeah, just bring back the old Fire Emblem, like the Game Boy Advance ones. Um,
Please.
the Resident Evil show on Netflix is getting canceled. Nick, how do you feel about this?
God, talk about the biggest surprise of the year.
It was bad, man.
I watched one episode. I gave it a shot. I didn't hate it, but I was not going to spend the time finishing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid. It was pretty dumb.
You watched it all, right?
I watched it all. I enjoyed it. Like I would have watched the second season for sure. But like the whole like I don't know, man. Like the whole like flashbacks and stuff. Like the two daughters, like they were okay. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't. There was like a whole like episode where they like did like a treasure hunt, like in the house, like not treasure hunt, but like
scavenger hunt
with their dad, like trying to find their dad's stuff and like how like super secret he was, and then I don't know, it was weird. I don't know.
I guess they needed those non CGI moments to save the budget a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird show, but I enjoyed it. I mean, there was a giant alligator, there was a giant spider, so you got like that typical
got your
Resident Evil monster vibes, but I don't know how they do a good Resident Evil because they have not done one yet. That's been like
they need to stop trying because
other than like the animation ones they do, those are pretty decent. I don't know. The animation one on Netflix wasn't super great. It felt like a movie.
Infinite Darkness.
Yeah, it felt like it should have been a movie versus like a TV show. Did you watch all of that?
Yeah, I did. I did watch all that.
It wasn't bad.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was nothing.
It was only like 4 episodes.
Yeah, it should have just been a movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace, Resident Evil. Netflix version.
They need to stop doing what they're doing, man. They just make the games.
Just make the games. You're killing it with the games.
Yeah, it's hard to turn a game that is in itself a B movie into a good show because like it's super campy, it's super unrealistic, it's all over the place. Like it makes a fun game, sure. Like makes a really great game. Makes a bad movie. Makes a bad TV show.
Yeah, they didn't even show like how the virus got spread in the first season. It was weird. I don't know. And then lastly, we don't have to talk a ton about Nick, but Gamescom happened.
Jeff Keighley's Gamescom.
Yeah, a lot of stuff showing off. We got Dead Island 2 is coming out next year. Looks pretty good.
February.
It looks good. Are you excited for another zombie game?
I don't know if I'm excited for another February zombie game. I don't know. I'm still like.
We didn't play Dying Light 2.
I want to pick that one up.
Let me go back and play it. We should split the cost of that thing and play it.
Let's wait for it to hit a sale. Then we'll split the costs.
There we go.
And we'll get off for free.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I thought this show itself was okay. Like the opening night live, I thought it was better than
much better than
the Summer Games Fest.
The thing was dookie, but.
Yeah, I mean,
this one had some pretty good announcements.
They had some weird moments where, like, anytime they bring like the developer to talk like more about the game after the trailer, I don't need that. That should be like a separate thing. Hideo Kojima trolled everybody with his podcast. That was kind of funny, which I kind of want to listen to. I kind of want to listen to it over.
That's interesting.
So that's cool. Jeff Keighley, I think, is doing like a news segment on the show too, because of course he is.
Of course, they're best friends.
Was there anything that you saw in the show that you want to highlight for the opening night live specifically?
Lies of P looks pretty phenomenal.
The Pinocchio Bloodborne, baby. Yeah, that thing looks...
Yes, Pinocchio
and it's coming
Bloodborne.
to Game Pass. That thing looks awesome.
Yeah. It looks pretty incredible. I'm extremely excited. Is that coming this year or is it next year?
I think it's this year. Is it this year? Lies of P. It has to be next year, right?
Sure.
2023.
2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Like I was watching, and I was like, okay, something Pinocchio, and then like they showed the gameplay, and I was like, dude, this is like straight up Bloodborne.
Yeah, and I think they'd shown this during Summer Games Fest.
I must have missed it because I did not know about this
Yeah,
game at
dude,
all.
this game it looked pretty sick from back then, and now it just looks even better. I cannot wait.
Like they showed the gameplay.
One of my most anticipated games of next year.
Yeah, it looks super cool. So man, 2023 is gonna be insane.
We said that last year about this year.
I know everything got delayed.
It was pretty insane though with Elden Ring and.
I mean, yeah, it's still a great year for gaming.
Yeah. Okay, I know this game is getting a lot of hate online, but I'm really excited for High on Life.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I watched like the deep, or I watched like actual gameplay, 25-minute gameplay video of it. That was posted around the time of Gamescom. It looks really good. It shows a lot better there than it does in like the 30-second clips that are being posted online with like the little kid that you can kill.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it. Like I get that that's not the Rick and Morty thing's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's very polarizing, but I don't think that's all that this game is. I think that's just a piece of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think there's gonna be like a really fun story here. I think it might be similar to like something like Psychonauts. Not the actual story, but just like the themology of it.
Yeah.
The theme of it's gonna be similar to something like Psychonauts. So
yeah, it looks cool.
I'm excited for it. Looks pretty cool. What else do we see? I mean, there were a lot of good games that were shown off.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't like too many like new things I don't think shown off, but look at the list of everything that got announced.
Oh, the Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Might check that one out. The sequel
did you play,
to Lords of the Fallen.
Did you play Lords of the Fallen? Lord of the Fallen?
I did.
I played like 5 minutes of it. I think I had it on Game Pass at one point, and it felt like a really not like a cheap Dark Souls game.
Souls game.
Yeah.
Which this looks like Elden Ring, so
it does.
fair.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks cool. There's that weird like everywhere game that looks like I don't know, man. It looks like a scam.
Yeah, it does.
It was like
Kind of looks like a scam.
Yeah, it's like. So I think it's one of the ex-developers of GTA 5, I think, or Grand Theft Auto. But it's like a game. It kind of looks like an adult version of Roblox. It looked.
I see what you're saying.
And I didn't make up that was not me. That I got that from Games or not Games Radar. Jesus, Giant Bomb. Jeff Grubb mentioned that it was like a giant like a Roblox like for adults, but yeah, it's like there's a bunch of different areas with like different art styles and stuff. Like a giant sandbox game. I don't know, man. It looks like a scam. It looks weird.
It might be. We'll just have to find out.
And I think they've got like some sort of like blockchain shit in it. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
They seemed kind of blockchainy.
Yeah.
Kind of NFT a little bit.
There's a survival Dune game coming, Dune Awakening.
Oh, the MMO.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of MMOs, but it looked cool. They announced the DualSense Edge controller. There. We got the Callisto Protocol, like a new trailer for that, new gameplay. Still looks good. Can't wait.
Yeah, I don't think I need to see any more gameplay. I think I'm sold. I'm good.
It's definitely like the moment the show where the guy is like white water rafting through like the sewer or whatever. That's definitely super Uncharted vibes. So,
well, didn't Dead Space have something like that?
It had a little bit of like that. In 3, I think.
That was super Uncharted. You're right.
Yeah, very Uncharted. But that's fine. Like that game looks great. That's gonna be a day one for me. Cannot wait for that game.
Is that coming to Game Pass or is that?
I don't know actually. It may be. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't.
I don't think
it
it
is
is.
actually.
No. We got Hogwarts Legacy. That game looks really cool.
It does.
Sonic Frontiers looks cool. I don't know if I'm gonna buy that or pick it up, but I will definitely wait for reviews.
It does.
But everything once they got out of the IGN first stuff, like the game has looked way better. So I don't know what the deal was with IGN's first stuff. I don't know if that's just the gameplay they chose to show off or what they could show off. But whoever was in charge of marketing that stuff was on Sonic's side was terrible. Like they borderline like ruined that game at the start of it being showed off because that was bad.
It did not show well. I don't know what side that was, whether it was IGN or Sega, but somebody messed up.
I'm assuming IGN just got what they got, but yeah, that stuff was horrible. I don't know who was in charge of that. Let's see. A bunch of other like random stuff. Life. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like that 80s movie. They're getting like a asymmetrical horror game based on that show or movie, which those seem to be doing like really well. Like the the Friday the 13th game and the Evil Dead game that just came out. So yeah, those games. I think those games stream really well. I think people love watching those streams for those.
They do.
Let's see. There's that other game from like the X devs from like Fallout and Elder Scrolls people. Word Song. It's like a fantasy RPG. Kind of looks like Dark Souls ish. I think, if I can remember correctly.
I don't remember that one.
We got more Gotham Knights stuff. I think that's
it's also more of that.
I think that's really it. Yeah, and then they ended it on Dead Island 2, the re-reveal. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a much better showing than the Summer Games Fest. It just there wasn't like I don't think there was like much ads, and it was not super duper long. So, I thought that was good.
Yeah, they kind of fit in more with the theme.
Yeah,
it wasn't just The Rock out of place. Telling you to drink his Zola.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was Zoa. Yeah, that was horrible. I don't. Who knows?
That's so weird.
Anything else from Gamescom that you can think of?
Not really. I thought it was good. I thought it was you're right. It was a lot better than the Games Fest. The plug for Game Awards. So
yeah,
we'll see Keeley again in a few months.
We'll be streaming it on that Thursday. Hopefully we get some good stuff, man. Hopefully we get some good announcements.
Yeah. Let's hope.
But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the show this week. Hope everyone enjoyed it. We definitely appreciate everyone that's watching live, downloading the show, all that good stuff. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts and any other app you can leave reviews on. That's much, much appreciated. Nick, where can they follow us everywhere else?
They can follow us on Twitter at GamingWTBros. They can follow us on TikTok at GamingWithTheBroscast. You can email us any questions at gamingwiththebroscast@yahoo.com. And then you can join our Discord, which is linked in the description below.
Yeah.
And that should be everything.
I think that's everything. So yeah, we'll see everybody next Monday, maybe with some Nintendo Direct information. Who knows?
September is
September.
Turning its head around the corner. And,
September.
I think we'll see State of Play and Direct.
You think we'll see a State of Play?
They have to.
Like a God of War specific, or just
just a general.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, they got to come out and
Gotta do some damage control.
Yeah, show some stuff that's gonna be coming out next. Cause we don't know. Like other than, I mean, I don't think like Spider-Man 2. Like maybe we'll get Spider-Man 2 next year, and then Wolverine the year after, like 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we don't really know what they're doing.
Gotta justify that 550.
All right, guys. Well, we will see y'all next Monday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time over on Twitch. And yeah, hope everyone has a good week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.